everyone, Kaary here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all doing great today. So today I'm back with another base game build, and today we're actually building for the building Newcrest save file. So this is actually a park, and today we're building in the Cookout Lookout lot. I think it's a correct pronunciation of the name. I wanted to have a park in this lot because right at the very back of this lot there's actually some picnic tables and some grills, and it looks like a little bit of a park kind of area. So I decided that this lot was gonna be a park, and I mentioned that I was gonna be adding more community lots to this save file as well. It was not gonna be only houses. So yeah, today we are building a park, and it was kind of hard for me because I think I've built one park in the past like throughout all my years building in The Sims 4, I think this is the second park that I do. I don't know if I've done more than 2 parks because they're kind of hard for me to build. I don't know, there's not that many things that you can do to make them feel like more like appealing visually. And yeah, it's kind of hard, but I had an idea in mind. I had this vision of what I wanted to do, and it was basically to use a rounded platforms, as you see here, that we are using. And I think this is what makes this build look a little bit different and I don't know, more recognizable, I would say. So yeah, I felt like adding a park here was just perfect. This is a very suburban area of the Newcrest map, so adding a park was just perfect, and it was definitely one of the lot types that I wanted to have in this save file. And maybe I would have added it in a bigger lot, but as I mentioned, this lot was just perfect to build a park. So yeah, that's what I decided to do. And because I'm using rounded platforms, I decided to create my own fence for this area. So I'm using a shelf. This is a base game shelf. You saw me rotating everything and creating the illusion of a fence, I would say. Now I'm adding these debug pillars here to create a little bit of a separation. But basically, I didn't want to use the regular fences because they wouldn't let me add staircases to this platform, and I really wanted to have staircases. So yeah, I had to compromise a little bit and decided to use these like shelves because we don't have many debug fences in base game that were suitable enough for this build. So yeah, I decided to go with a fence, and I think it ends up looking really cool. I'm gonna be duplicating I'm gonna be trying a lot of things with this rounded platform. And also you saw me grabbing this archway, and this is another debug item that I really wanted to use in this build. I ended up not using it, but you will see it throughout most of the video. I'm just gonna be moving it around and trying to make it look nice and trying to find the perfect place for it, but I'm not gonna be using it. That's a spoiler alert. I'm not gonna be using this item because it just didn't look the way that I was envisioning it. So yeah, I decided to get rid of it, but it was a really nice try. Also, what makes me nervous about building parks is that I have to do a lot of terrain paint and also a lot of gardening and landscaping and things like that, and that scares the hell out of me. You know that landscaping is definitely not my forte. It's definitely not what I like the most about building. But yeah, when you build parks, you basically need to have like a strong landscaping, and I think I accomplished what I was trying to go for. Also the terrain paint, I think it ends up looking really cool. I really liked it. And yeah, here you see me trying to use these archways. This was basically the idea that I had in mind, something that I had in my mind that I thought would look good, but yeah, I just don't think it's gonna end up looking nice, so I got rid of them. And now we're gonna be adding some benches here. I decided to make it as functional as possible, so I added many things in this lot. This is actually a 30 by 20 lot, so it's not that big, but it's perfect for the kind of park that I was trying to go for. Also, I really wanted to have the water feature, so I decided to create a pond, and your Sims are gonna be able to come here and fish. I actually play tested every single part of this build and everything functions. I just had to move like the fishing signs a little bit because there were some clipping issues with their Sims when they were trying to fish, but apart from that, everything worked. Actually, your Sims could fish, my Sims could fish perfectly fine, but the visual glitch was something that I didn't want to have, so that's why I decided to move the fishing signs a little bit, but they stay in the exact same places in which you will see me adding them now, like during the build. So don't worry, because I didn't change that many things. But yeah, I playtested everything. Even this bridge, I used it, I saw it, I really wanted to have a bridge. I wanted to have one that were a little bit more rounded, so more curvy or something like that, and that's what I was trying to go for, but this is the only one that I found in the debug base game, so that's what I ended up using. And yeah, it still functions, it's functional. I thought that maybe my Sim wasn't gonna be able to walk through it, but my Sim could perfectly, so yeah, it was great. So I'm using this debug bridge here and making it functional using a piece of flooring, and then I'm gonna be using the bridge to cover it. So yeah, everything functions, everything works perfectly. I was really impressed. I was nervous about some things like the bridge, also the fishing signs, and also the pirate ship for the kids. So I actually brought a kid and I make them play tested, and yeah, you can definitely bring your kids here to play in the pirate ship and it's gonna work just fine. So yeah, that I was so happy when I noticed that. And yeah, this fishing sign, I had to move it a little bit closer to the center of the, like further away from the edge of the bridge, and the other fishing sign I had to move it for it not to be like in the middle of the rocks. So that's all the things that I had to do. And here I was trying to figure out how to use the platforms once again, because I wanted to have an area for your Sims to eat, so they could have a barbecue. I'm gonna be adding some grills and some tables as well, and I was trying to use the exact same rounded a piece of platform that I used with the pirate ship, but I ended up getting rid of it and just using two smaller ones. Here you see me trying to figure it out. I'm just doing my best, but this was not what I was envisioning when I started building this park. So yeah, I kept this in the video because it was me trying to figure out how to do it, but I ended up getting rid of this big platform and using two smaller ones. So yeah, it ends up looking way better. You may have noticed it in the cinematics at the beginning. I was so proud of this build. I haven't been building many community lots lately because I just haven't felt inspired to build them. And when I decided to start building a park, it was like my least favorite community lot to build, and then I felt so proud of myself when I noticed that it worked and it looked nice and it was functional, and it was pretty close to what I was envisioning. So I ended up feeling really well. I built this on Wednesday morning. Actually, it took me a little bit longer than an hour to build this. So I used my time wisely because my son was taking a nap when I was building this. So yeah, it was just the perfect timing for me. And yeah, it just came to my mind, and I ended up really having a lot of fun with this park. I don't know if I'm gonna be building that many parks. I mean, I do have to build more parks, but I don't think they're gonna be only base game. I'm pretty sure this is only like the only park I'm gonna be having in this save file, because I do want to add more community lots as well, and I want to add some more houses. I do have many houses in mind for this save file, but for my other save file, the one that is not a pack that limited. I do have to add more parks, so I will be working on some more parks, but I don't think I'm gonna be doing them anytime soon because I don't know, I just think they're too hard for me. But yeah, I just wanted to have a community unlock for you guys, and having a base game one, I think it's like a plus for this kind of builds. But yeah, we're adding more rocks here to create like a path into the grill area, and also here in the bridge. And then I'm gonna be adding I don't remember what I add. Well, I work on the terrain paint. I think I was so proud of the terrain paint. I only used 2 different terrain paints here, so hopefully they're not gonna get deleted when you download the build. When I built this, it took me like it was a little bit longer than an hour, as I said, but I had to build it like in 2 different times. So when I loaded into the build the second time, the terrain paint was still there. When I took the screenshots, when I play tested it, everything, the terrain paint was there. So hopefully, because it's only 2 different terrain paints, hopefully it's not gonna get deleted when you download it. This is up on the gallery already, so if you want to go and download it, you can definitely do so. There's gonna be a link in the description as well for you to download it directly from the Sims website if you want. And yeah, I just remember that I always add all the information, like all the links to download my build. They're always in the description down below of every video. And also lately I have been adding the information of the lots as well, so when it's a community lot, I'm gonna be adding like the lot size, the type, the world in which I built it. And when it's a residential lot, I also add the amount of bedrooms and bathrooms and how much it costs. So yeah, you have all the information in the description as well, so if you want to go and check it out, please do so. And yeah, we're adding some landscaping here. I tried to go for something simpler. I didn't want to use like a bunch of different plants. I wanted to use like the least amount of plants possible, because I just didn't want it to feel like it was just too much. And here I'm trying to find different lights to use. I used the debug ones that you saw me using first, but they wouldn't light up that much, so then I ended up using these ones that are not debug. I don't think if they match that well with the aesthetic that I was trying to go for, but they light up, and that was what I was trying to go for. I mean, that was the goal of having lights in a build, is that they light up. So yeah, that's why I almost never use debug lights, because they usually don't light up. But yeah, here we're adding some more plants. I'm gonna be adding some bushes as well to create like a fence area, but the back of the build is actually open for your Sims to go to the other grill area. That's also why I decided not to add that many grills and tables here, just the basics. I mean, you need 1 or 2 tables in a park, but you are not required to use grills, but I wanted to. And here I'm gonna be adding some planter pots as well, so your Sims can actually do some gardening if they want. And yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it. We're actually heading to the end of the video now, so I hope you guys liked it. And if you did, please remember to like this video, also comment and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and also follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Enjoy the screenshots. Goodbye.